in this practice of resting in awareness, the Shamatha practice we've been doing today, there can still be this tendency to be quite tight with the mind. And also, when doing this practice, there can be this tendency to have a sense that awareness is somewhere inside the head. So to release that sort of contraction around the awareness, I want to do a little practice called merging mind with space. And it's like a bit of sort of mental gymnastics to help us to release that sort of grasping on awareness. So let's do that practice now. It's about 15, and we'll keep it short. We'll do a 15-minute session. Switch the light. You begin by preparing the body. Allowing the breathing to flow naturally and effortlessly. And allowing the mind to come to rest in the present moment. Simply becoming aware of the rhythm of the breath. with the eyes at least partially open, resting your gaze in the space in front of you. Simply release all appearances and allow the mind to come to rest. Not doing anything at all. Simply knowing that you're aware. Simply resting in awareness. From this place of resting in awareness, direct your attention upwards into space as far as you can go. It's not a matter of visualizing. Simply direct the awareness up into space as far as you can go. And then let your awareness come and return to its own place. Completely relaxed. At rest. Now direct your awareness out to your left as far as you can go. Out into space. And then let your awareness come back to rest in its own place. resting in awareness. And then direct your attention out to the right, as far as you can go, out into space. And then allow your awareness to come back and rest in its own place. And then direct your awareness downwards into empty space as far as you can go. And then allow it to come back and rest in its own place. And then see if you can relax your body and mind so deeply as to allow awareness, the location of awareness, to descend to the center of your chest at the level of your heart. Not visualizing down there, but allowing awareness to descend to that point. And then release your awareness into space in all directions, releasing all appearances and relaxing completely. And knowing that you're aware. Any questions about this practice or anything we've done earlier today before we go to this evening's topic? Yeah.
Can you say again the last things, because I missed you in the...
We were sort of going up, left, right, down, and then back, and then...
Backwards?
No, then to rest, to relax so deeply to allow... Because awareness seems to be normally here. To relax so deeply to allow it to descend to here. To the, well, in Tantra, the heart chakra, but the center of the chest, level of the heart here. So not visualizing down, but allowing it to move down. To do that, you have to be very relaxed, because if you have any tension, you'll pop up here. So completely relax the body and mind, and then see if you can allow it to... And then from there, set it out. From here, just in all directions, just spread it.
This is what I mean.
Yeah, spread it out in all directions. Yeah.
What was the intention of that?
Yeah. The intention is really to release grasping. Because we have grasping, and particularly when we're resting in awareness, we're contracting around that awareness, and often it sort of seems like awareness is inside the head here somewhere, and it's to sort of try and release that.
It made me notice that I actually had been, wherever I was looking was where I had my awareness originally, and so then suddenly putting it in different places, I had physical sensation. Like on the left, I could feel the whole left side of my body,
Good.
But it made it easier to, because of the physicality of it, it made it easier.
Well, good. So I think we'll probably try this again sometime tomorrow, just to release it, because I find it's quite helpful, because often, again, we're a little bit like this in the practice. So I think to do this practice, particularly in a completely dark room, could be very, very interesting.
Can I ask one more question?
Yeah.
What part of the brain is active during your meditation?
I don't know much about the brain. I couldn't answer that.
I felt like my body was moving like circles all the time.
And it wasn't, or you just thought it was?
No, yes, I had a little bit, but you can't see that, but I felt it.
Huh?
Like, so, and it's not the first time.
No,
like
I mean...
my body, איך אומרים מלהדהד, כאילו... echo. Like moving a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, when we go into these shamatha practices, particularly when we're balancing the mind, that will balance subtle energies, and that can cause all sorts of things to happen in the body. Heat is very common, particularly in the chest area, a lot of heat. Tingling, vibration, big body, floating body, all sorts of things can happen. And just don't make a big deal out of it, because that's just a natural byproduct of the balancing of the mind and balancing of the energies. These experiences will come and they'll go.
Doesn't it miss the point, like to put the awareness in the place?
The point of this meditation is to not put it in a place,
But this is what we were doing.
because generally most people have it in a place already. Generally people have it sort of here. So what I was trying to do was to release that by going up, left, right, down, and then out.
Okay, but and if I don't have it in a certain place?
Then you probably don't need to do this exercise. Then it's good. I mean, if you have this expansive sense of awareness not located anywhere, then you don't need to do this. This practice is to help us to get into that state. So if we're already in that state, we don't need to do this.
So I felt it very much here, and then when I moved it, I was following, and I really felt like there's a ball that I'm moving. Doesn't matter, I send it to the moon, but it's still very concrete in a way. So I didn't feel like I succeeded to...
I mean, but that's good that you saw that. I mean, that you're sort of contracting like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
but there's another way to maybe...
Well, again, just the releasing. And I think, again, what can be very helpful is the fact that we tend to locate awareness based on location of body. Yeah, often. Particularly because for many of us, we have a sense the agent is in here because most of our sense faculties are located here. And particularly for many of us, the visual faculty dominates. And so then we sort of reference the agent based on the visual faculty. And so, we think the agent's somewhere just behind the eyes here because this visual is the dominant. That's why it can be helpful to be very relaxed so you don't have a strong sense of body and meditate in a completely dark room. So there's nothing to reference in terms of behind the eyes because you don't have that visual reference. So try that. It can be interesting.
So would you then say that the awareness is all pervasive? It's nowhere and everywhere?
You could say that.
So it has no space.
Sorry?
From my experience, it has no space.
Yeah, because it's no space because it's
No
not.
space.
Huh?
But it has no space. Like you said, pull it inside.
Yeah. So if you have that experience already, you don't need to do this. But for most people, they feel like awareness is here somewhere. And that's why if we do this, and this, we can let go of that false grasping. But if you don't have it, then we don't need to do this. So this is not really part of the resting practice. This is a little bit of warm-up to get us into a good state. So if you're already in that state, you don't need to do this. Good. What?
I usually get migraines in these, and this time I thought maybe it will help, and it helped a little, but I'm not sure that it will help. I have headaches because of thinking it's in my head.
Yeah.
So how to deal with?
Well, again, I think it can be helpful. I mean, and also we can do this meditation lying down, the Shavasana, so we're relaxed, because often sitting up we get a tension in the body. And again, I would recommend to do it in a completely dark room and just do this sort of releasing and relaxing.
All the time.
And don't strive, don't...
It's a natural thing.
Sorry?
Headaches is sometimes a natural thing.
Natural.
Like it happens because you said that...
Yeah, but usually in meditation, headaches happen because we're doing this. We're completely wound up. We're so tight. So because we're trying hard, we're striving. So I think we just need to let go of that. And with this practice, we don't have to pay attention to any appearances. So we just basically we're doing nothing in this practice. All we're doing is just knowing there's awareness. That's it. And just do that very, very subtly. No striving. We're not trying to get anywhere. Just be in that state. And again, I think it can be helpful if you have a lot of tension, just do that in the Shavasana posture and even in a dark room. Just really... And you can really, if you have that tightness, you can have on the out breath, you can just go... Just keep going on the out breath. Okay, let's go to this evening's topic. And for that, we're going to have a look at this Wheel of Life chart. So for the last 2 evenings, we've been looking at the Four Noble Truths. And the Four Noble Truths is the first teaching the Buddha gave. And it's the foundation of all Buddhist traditions. And basically in the Four Noble Truths, the Buddha is, again, being like our doctor, diagnosing our condition, prognosis that we can cure ourselves, and the cure. So in other words, he's teaching suffering and its causes, happiness and its causes. And we saw there that we're stuck in this unsatisfactory state called dukkha, and we're stuck in this state because of our mental afflictions, particularly our distorted view of reality. That this distorted view of reality, and at the deepest level, this distorted view of reality is this grasping onto an independent me, independent world. That's leading to attachment to pleasant things, aversion to unpleasant things. All the other mental afflictions are coming out of that. That's driving our behaviour, and then those actions are leading to our experiences called dukkha. And this state of dukkha, the Buddha's assertion is that we are cycling in this state life after life, and that cycling in this state of dukkha life after life is called samsara. So samsara is not a place. Samsara is the fact that we are cycling in the state of dukkha life after life due to our distorted view of reality and our mental afflictions. But of course, what the Buddha discovered was that we can eliminate our distorted view of reality by coming to realise the nature of reality and thereby overcome ignorance, mental afflictions and suffering, and therefore transcend the cycle of existence called samsara and achieve liberation.